Hello paper florists, and welcome back to the Alstomeria tutorials for our paper flower challenge for October 2020. And I just want to show you all the little Alstomeria that I made. I have to say I really like this one. It's really pretty. And I'm just going to work these petals a little more just to give them a little more outturn. And this was kind of one of my prototypes, not my fave. Then these are the white ones that I did, similar to what we did. This, I think, is the one we did in class. And then I did a yellow one, and I really like the yellow a lot. So now we're going to finish off the stem. So I've got a couple of pieces of doublet here, and this is the fern and moss. And I've got a piece here that's about 6 inches wide, and I'm going to fold it in half this way. Give it a nice firm. And I'm going to take, now remember, the part you want to show, you want it to be on the outside. So we're going to go through and then I have some lengths of 26 gauge wire, 24, 26, I'm not sure, gauge wire here. And I'm just going to take them and put them in, probably about, let's see how many of them I can get in here. This is really crooked. Let's see if I can straighten that out a little bit. There we go. And we're going to come, and I'm actually going to pull a few of these down so they're smaller. Just pull it down. And I'll take this one down. And then we're going to take this and just make sure they're on there, that they're secure. Fold it over. And I've got them on there. So I have a brayer. I use a brayer a lot for laminating. I think it helps a lot. So I'm just going to turn this over. And I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes. And then I have another piece. And, you know, this piece, the tallest that the blooms can be is 5 inches long, right? So I'm going to do another piece. And this is about 3 inches wide. And I'm not going to cover the whole thing with glue, but I'm going to go up pretty high because some of these leaves can be pretty long, especially going down the stem, which quite frankly would probably all pull off anyway. And let's see what I got here. I've got a piece here. Let's take this there. So these leaves are pretty skinny. Here we go. There's one. And there's another. Okay, so we're going to take this other piece. Remember, the color you want to see is on the top here. And I'm just going to do the same thing with this. And I can see that one of my... No, they're fine. I think this one's a little crooked. Let's come back in and just take a look at that. While the glue is still wet, you can do a lot. There. Okay, so I'm going to let this glue dry, and we're going to come back and cut out the leaves. Okay, so welcome back. So we have our pieces of laminated doublet here, and I'm just going to cut in between these wires. too much paper here. There we go. Okay, so we've got those, excess. And then what we're going to do is we're going to basically fold this against where the wire is so that our petals straight up and down. And we're going to just cut. These are pretty simple petal shapes. Long, thin. Actually, those are a little bit big. Let's make it a little bit smaller, narrower. Okay. Here's the next one. And we'll make this one a little shorter. There's another one, 2. And then another one. Let's make this one pretty short too. Let's cut this way down. Oops, fold it in half. Do as I say, not as I do, right? Isn't that the way it always works? I apologize if you can hear my puppy in the background. We have a new puppy. He's really cute and he's really sweet, but like all puppies, he can squawk when he wants attention. My husband's with them. Take this one. And I cut this a little. Just gonna come in here and see if I can cut that. Yeah, there. I cut the, there we go. Cut the wire. Now we gotta make this one a little more tapered. And I've got there's the same problem. I didn't plan this as well as I should have. There. So I can just cut that off. There. Almost. There. And there's another one. And last one of these smaller ones. Okay, so now we're going to do this one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut down this down here. Actually, I'm probably going to make these. I think some of the petals will go as long as 7 inches, but these are just, this could be way too big. So I will break these up. So these will be the longest petals that we have. And we're just going to create a fold here. There we go. Do another one. Maybe this one's really tight. Let's just cut it here. Let's do it this way. There we go. And another one. Here we go. There we go. There we are. Okay. So we have all of these petals, and I do have this bit of paper left. So I'm going to make out of this a couple of petals that won't be wired. Take some really skinny ones here. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're just going to cut them in half. Or sorry, fold them in half. And then can get it open. There we go. Okay, this one's really skinny. Let's see if I can just cut this one by hand. I'm going to go down about that long. And I'm just going to cut this one. One more. See how much glue I have in here. Because we didn't glue it all the way to the edge, so we're going to do that right now. There we go. There. Another. See where this one is glued to. I'm just going to add a little glue here because I'm going to make these pretty short. These will be up around. And our last one. And I can see how far up. Let's add a little more glue here. Here we go. We are in the home stretch. Okay, so let's clear the decks here a little bit. And I've got all our petals here. We're going to cut some, we're going to need some strips to to tape on the blossoms. And you know what? I think I'm going to change to, let's use this to wrap because it'll match. So I'm just going to cut a few of these. Probably going to need 4 or 5 of them, I guess. Okay. Now, so I've got all these. I'm just going to lay them out one at a time here. And we are going to start, cut this in half. We are going to start by rewrapping the stems on the flowers so that they're all the same color. That could be easy enough. And so just rewrap your stems, and when we come back, we'll put it all together. So just wrap these up, and then when we come back, we'll continue to build. Okay, so welcome back. So we're coming back to this picture that I did, and you can see each of these blooms has 1 or 2 leaves coming off of it, and then there's a few more of the big ones along the bottom. So I think we can run with that. So the first thing we're going to do is add a few leaves to each of the blooms. And I'm going to grab a couple of, I'm going to put some of these little ones up there. And this is one of those that I did not get glue on. So let's fix it now. Ah! There we go. And we're probably going to come across a couple more of those because I wasn't diligent about gluing them at the time. Okay, so that's 2 for here. So I've got my tape, and I'm going to add let's add a little glue here. A little glue on flower, the stem, the leaf. Okay, I'm going to start doing that, and we're going to add another one. Just a little off and down from that one. We're going to shape these and make them really pretty afterwards. Then we'll come down and add one of the wired ones. Let's see what we've got here. Well, maybe, yeah, one of the wired ones. So we're just going to add this one here. Okay, so we've got, oops, get that in there. You know what we should do before we put this on? I should know better. I don't want to teach you my bad habits. is if we put a little glue on there and offset this a little bit like that, then we don't have to worry about it coming off, pulling out. Okay, so got this one, this one, this one. Okay, there's one. Let's take another one. We're going to do each of them a little differently. We may need to actually cut a few more of our leaves, but let's get started. And we don't want to do them all the same. So in this one, I'm going to add here. I'm going to grab another one of my tapes here. Now you can use floral tape for this. I prefer to use the crepe and cut it into strips for crepe tape. The reason for that is everything blends, or sorry, everything is the same color, and you're not trying to blend the greens. Okay, so we'll start with wrapping that one. Then we'll take another one that doesn't have enough glue on it. There we go. Put a little glue on this one. And we'll come down and put this little opposite that one. And we will come back and make this look really pretty. We're just going to go down on this one. Okay. Grab one more. And I've got here, I'll just put a little, there we go. Check out that one, look at this one. Here's a smaller one. Okay, so let's start by putting a little glue on each one of these. We'll start with this one up here. Okay, and then I've got my tape here, my crepe tape. And I don't have enough glue on it. There we go. Here we go. So we're going to tape this one on there. I'm going to take another one, the small one, here. Get that in there properly. There we go. It's okay that they're backing up each other. Then I'll do one that's directly opposite. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And finish that one off. And we're going to need a couple more leaves, but you'll get the idea here. Let's just take a little bit of this paper. We'll do some smaller leaves. Just a random piece of paper. Create a fold. I actually want to do it with the clean side out. And we're just going to fill in. We have to get another glue stick because this one's just about empty. If we can get this done. Okay. There. Okay, we're going to cut it in to, obviously I didn't get enough glue on this to finish this. And we're going to create some small ones out of this. So I'm just going to cut a little strip about 1/2 inch wide. Fold it in half again. By folding it in half, you get a more even form on your petal, on your leaves. Okay, let's cut this one in half. And you know, when you're doing this, you're probably never gonna, you'll never know how many leaves you're gonna need until you actually start making them. Happens to me all the time. This one's going to be a little skinny one. Okay, there. Let's get 3 of those. Let's do a couple more. This should be enough. So we're going to do the same thing here. Create fold so that we know where the fold is. And I have another glue stick here, smaller one. You know, it occurred to me, I didn't actually glue all the way to the end of this, but when I did that, I didn't put the glue all the way up. Happens to the best of us. And we'll just trim this down a little bit. Same thing here. And that was good. And this one looks like it's pretty good too. Nope. It's just got a little drop of separation there. Okay. So we're good. And we'll cut one of these. Cut this in half. Last one. Okay, now we're going to be good to go. So we'll do these last 2. And I'm going to grab a couple of these. Put some glue on the bottom. Take another one. Take a smaller one here. And I need some of our tape that we cut. Always remember the side you want to see should go away from you when you're taping like this. And I'm going to cut this in half just to make it easier to manage. Okay. Move these up. Okay, so we're going to grab this one. We're going to take a little piece here, stick that on, and then we're going to tape it on, just like we did. I'm going to come down a little more. One here. I'm going to come in with one of the wired petals. I want one that's not too long, but I guess they're all long. That's okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this a little tighter here. There. Put some glue. Always need a little glue. Insurance. And if you hear something rambunctious, it's Tucker, my puppy, who took my shoe that I had on. And he's having a heyday with my shoes. My shoe. Still have one on. The other one he removed. Okay, we'll do the same thing we did on the other one, is to make this come in here so it's nice and thin. Okay, last one. We'll do a couple of these. That's right. Okay, but I got 3 here. We'll shaped really well. You know, that's the glory of what we do, right? We can change things as we go along. If we don't like something, we'll fix it. It's easy enough. Put some glue. We're in the home stretch. Put some glue. And start taping this one. We do the same thing that we did before. Take this one. Down a little ways. Do another one. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. Okay. Now we are in the home stretch and we're going to put our stem together. I'm going to cut this, make this a little prettier. Okay. So all of these stems come out of one central spot. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to grab an 18 gauge wire here. I'm not going to need a lot of it, but it's going to be the base. Probably cut it in half. Oops. Okay, we're going to find our wire cutters, and we're going to cut this. It's about 1 foot long, I think. And then we're going to need a couple more pieces of our crepe tape. See, I like to use up my scraps for this. And we're going to start weaving these blooms together. Okay, so we're going to take 2 of our blooms, come down about 5 or 6 inches, and we're just going to go around that once. Then we're going to weave in our longer piece of the stem. Come back up. We're going to creating like a knot here where they all come out. They're all coming out of different areas. And then one more there. And we are going to come in here and start adding our, do as I say, not as I do. I need to put glue on these. I have a little bit here. Tucker, don't chew crepe. Don't chew on the wires. Tucker. He never follows what I say. Okay, so we're going to come back up here and we're going to start putting our petals in. We're just going to kind of randomly attach them because we're going to really play with them when, see, these will come out like a, we'll add another one here. And I'm going to have to rewrap this stem because it's the wrong color. Remember I said you want the color that you want on the outside? Again, do as I say, not as I do. Put some glue on a piece of tape. I'm just going to come in and rewrap that. There we go. We're going to add in around here, another one here, and And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with these when we're done. Okay, so I've got all my stems attached. And you can make this as long or as short as you want. And one of the things that happens with the Alstomeria is that the leaves twist. It's really weird. They twist. And we'll just go in and make it pretty. Just kind of, oh, I got an issue there. There we go. There. I want to curl that down because they are really kind of wispy. And the ones that are wired, we can twist them around in all kinds of different ways. There you go. So there you have it. We have finished our Alstomeria. This one is obviously quite the hybrid because I have 5 different blooms on it. You can do as many or as few blooms as you like. And you can just keep coming in and you'll probably make some changes to it as you go along. But that would just look really pretty in our bouquet. And I'm going to be doing a tutorial for you where I'm going to take all of the blooms that we've made this year, except maybe the Bird of Paradise, and I'm going to put them all into one base, into an arrangement. We're going to make an arrangement. And I think it's going to be really fun to do. We'll do that at the end of the year when we add in all the final ones we have. So thanks so much for joining us on the Paper Florists. I hope that you make the Alstomeria, and please reach out and let us know if you like the tutorial or if you weren't happy with this bloom. But I know you're going to have this. This is going to be a fun one. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon. Take care and happy making.